we got our good friend over here, Michael Catron, out here playing a Duskmane Necrozma variant. And we got our good friend Jack Mullins out
All
here.
right, so both players have started a basic. It looks like Michael has 2 in his hand.
Gimme, gimme.
I believe Jack is going first.
Top 4 players, your match may begin.
Michael. So, we know it is Necrozma versus Duskmane. Ooh.
Catron opens a stack Ataka with a Duskmane Necrozma on the bench.
Kind of unfortunate for Jack to open Marshadow. It's not something you really want to see in this matchup. You want to see mainly Dawnwing.
You want to see not that. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
okay.
Jake. Whoops.
Well,
So Jake opening with a Treasure, discarding a Psychic. Very strong opening. He gets an Inkay, obviously.
yeah.
So what's going on? A little bit of a...
Old commentators had
Confusion.
my good friend Jake Mellon's name wrong.
It looks like he has a supporter in hand, yeah. So he's going to be able to get that Marshadow to the active spot with the Floatstone. It's still a bit of a problem for him, just as a board. It's a very easy knockout for the Stataka or the Duskmane to take, along with a couple of other attackers. And he is playing Necrozma, so it already is a bad enough matchup as is due to the resistance and everything. Opts not to play the Max Elixir, interesting
Sycamore's
enough.
away the Max Elixir.
I guess he figures he wants more energy in deck for his later attackers instead of trying to get a retreat up because he already has the Floatstone on the Marshadow.
Actually, I think his brain's just absolutely massive.
Let's see. So he
Opts to
gets an
Ultra
Ultra
away,
Ball.
2 psychic energies.
Wow, he hits a lot of Psychics.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was talking with him earlier. He has 15 psychic energies in his deck.
Wow. He already has 5 of them in his discard, which is very strong. Means he's probably not going to have energies discarding anything. Ultra Ball's for a Lele. So he passes here.
Passes.
Interesting. Maybe doesn't want him to get a knockout on the Lele or something.
I don't.
Potential end play around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense for Catron opening the stack Ataka. He's a stone. It looks like he's an Ultra Ball as well. Getting rid of 2 metals, interestingly enough. Catron has big think brain though, so clearly he is managing plays in his head right now. Catron's list does not interestingly play Bridget, so
Plays Lily instead.
yes,
Tries to
so
go for
he
the-
may go for T1 Lily,
Yep.
which he indeed is doing.
Hey, that's my Lily.
Very strong play from Catron indeed.
He's going for what, 6?
Looks like it, maybe more. Ooh, 7.
7.
T1 7 Lily.
Attaches onto the
Energy.
Duskmane.
Yeah, it looks like he may have more, but it looks like he's just going to retreat into the
he's just
Lele
gonna pass
and
here.
pass. So we are going to see that Lele hit the field. No N from Catron. He does have a Mali in hand, although he only has 1 Malamar, which is a very bad situation for him to be in turn 2, especially in a Necrozma deck.
Yeah, unless he gets a Max Elixir, he's most likely not doing anything this turn.
He has burned 1, though. Surprisingly, he didn't opt to go for Bridget T1 with the Ultra Ball. He just went for an Inkay. He may have wanted more energy and discard with a Sycamore.
Yeah, but honestly, he has enough energies in his deck to get them in there quick enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for a larger hand.
So Floatstone on Mali. Is a choice band.
Sycamore away.
Drawing 7 again.
He has not attached an energy this game.
Dude.
And I think he has 7 in his discard.
Maybe 8.
I think it's either 7 or 9. It's a lot.
Appears to be 7.
There's an 8th.
So
Just
it
passing
looks like
over.
he's just passing after attaching to the Marshadow. I guess his game plan is to try and hit around the resistance with Marshadow, even though it is rather frail. Catron's hand
Catron's just
seemingly
gonna pass.
dead.
Draws
Interestingly
8 cards
enough.
off the Lily and has absolutely nothing.
Although it is fair to comment that right now anyway... Oh, he had a Lele, so never mind. I was going to say that Jake's hand is not very strong, but obviously has a Lele. He doesn't have any Pokemon in discard to activate his Marshadow, however, and it doesn't seem in his current situation that he has a way to get one in there. So he's just going to Cynthia, draw a fresh new hand, try and get an attacker Although it is difficult for him to power one up just because he does only have one Malamar out. So he can't knock out the Lele. I think Catron's trying to either trying to pull off something or his hand is just actually dead.
Yeah. While I'm looking at it, he's a lot of Guzmas.
He does, however, have an Ultra Ball he opts not to play, interestingly enough.
If I were Jake, I'd be trying to get a lot more Inkays on the field. He's
Yeah.
flooding his board with Tapu Leles, which are just liabilities.
Not a very good attacker in this situation
This is one of the matchups where you want to have at least 3 Malamars in play at all times, or you're just going to fall behind so early.
Yeah. The problem is he only has bench space for another Malamar or an attacker.
He opts not to bench, yeah.
I think that's the correct play.
Yeah, of course it's the correct play.
Energy recycle system with a Guzma. So Michael's hand
here is going to take a prize.
Clearly waiting to pull off a trap or something.
He's finding a way to actually use the Guzmas in his hand, so he has nothing else.
He more than likely has nothing. Another mysterious treasure coming down. Discarding a Bridget, which is very strong. Bridget isn't often played in these kinds of decks.
It's not really needed, but...
He does play one, I believe. So that is a very strong card for him at least. He does have a Necrozma coming down on the field.
And he does have a Max Lexer in his hand, but he's going to have to hit 2 of them to take a knockout on this Duskmane.
Of course, he can always Black Ray and try and set up knockouts for later, but
yeah, Black Ray actually seems pretty strong here since he is playing, I do believe he's playing the baby Dawn Wings and Koopa.
That is true, but it does open up the possibilities of a Meteor Tempest from Micheal, as he is just leaving something big on board, and then he doesn't have anything to follow it up. He does have a Marshadow with energy.
Actually, I don't see him ever using Meteor Tempest here, because if he goes for the 100 spread, right? He's going to go for the...
Oh, no. I was talking about Catron using Meteor Tempest on the Solgaleo.
Yeah. I get Sun's Eclipse and Meteor Tempest mixed up.
It's fine. However, he is going to have a Sycamore in hand. He does Sycamore away his basic attacker, Dawn Wings.
He's looking for a Max Elixir and a Psychic. He does not get the Max Elixir.
He does, however, hit the Psychic, so he is able to pull off an attack with his Necrozma this turn.
That's about it, though.
He does have another Mysterious Treasure. I believe that makes 3 in his discard, so it is going to be very hard for him to get an actual attacker set up later in the game, but his deck is already thin enough that he'll probably be able to draw it anyway. What he does with his Necrozma here will be interesting, however.
I'm predicting he's going to Black Ray because that's just 400 damage on the board.
Yes, he doesn't have a way to switch it, however. Does he just pass?
He didn't have, did he fail the Max Elixir or what?
No, he didn't fail it. He just passes here.
He just decides not to go for it. Okay.
Interesting. So he does pass here, which gives Micheal the opportunity to just attack his Marshadow for free.
Pretty sure he has another Guzma in hand, too.
Oh, if Micheal has another Guzma, his Necrozma is in danger.
Necrozma's going dead.
Yes.
He does have an Ultra Ball, so he does have an out to it.
No, he doesn't because he's paralleled.
Oh, is he paralleled?
Yeah,
okay.
So he's just going to get knocked out. He just gives up his Marshadow. I mean, it doesn't really have anything in discard to utilize it.
He's going to be taking the knockout on the Duskmane this turn.
I mean, I guess he was just trying to load up energy, but that...
He needs to get some Inkays down on the board.
Yeah, he only has 1 Mally out, but he is down 2 Inkays, which is a big problem. Yo. So he is going to Prismatic Burst this turn, I believe. Depending. He's going to Cynthia first, of course. He's going to draw.
Hopefully he finds an Inkay here.
Let's see what he hits off this. What he's hoping for most likely is an Inkay and another attacker, or just 2 Inkays so he can just run in.
I'd be looking for Inkay here, and I'd just be happy with that, honestly.
Just an Inkay and a Malamar. Hopefully. He misses it, but he
does
does hit the Rescue Stretcher. Whether or not he wants to shuffle, however, is a different story.
He blurs off the Lele.
So he Floatstones, he attacks with Prismatic Burst. He takes 4 prizes, so Michael's Beast Rings are now active. If
he
he
chooses
has...
not to rescue Stretcher for the Inkay, though.
Micheal does have a B string. He attaches it to stack attack, interestingly enough. He's
Yeah,
most
he's going
likely
to kill
trying
that
to...
Malamar.
No, I think he's trying to set up an assembly KO and then stack attacka because it is 50 plus, so he is able to knock out the Necrozma and then the Malamar. He may, however, knock out the Malamar first just to be safe. It depends on what is in his hand. We know that he doesn't have a Guzma, but he does have an Ultra Ball, which he can get a
I do
Lele
believe he's
with.
going to Guzma here, because then he's just left with absolutely nothing on the board, having no Mala.
But we do know that Michael's hand... He
going
gets
for that
Oranguru. Maybe his
Okay.
Lele is prized? Interestingly enough, he does get the Guru. He's most likely trying to draw
Maybe he got a
into
Sycamore
it.
off his prizes. He's at 3.
Michael Maxlix is here,
Taking-
hopefully hitting a medal.
Yeah, taking
He
one
does.
prize here is very good, because he sets him on even prizes. The game's most likely going to
Yeah.
die out from there.
But he can assembly here and just take a prize with whatever, especially if Necrozma doesn't have the ability to knock out his stack attacka. He's most likely... He hit a supporter. Choosing not to play it, however. Oh, he does choose to play it.
He's going for, what, 110 on this
Most-
active Necrozma.
Most likely trying to hit B strings just so he can't lose the game next turn, setting up his Dusk main.
Yeah.
Maybe metal, just to have an attachment or something. He hit any B strings. He does not.
Takes 2.
It's... Yeah. So he does knock out the Necrozma with his stack attacka. Another Necrozma coming down, and I don't think that Jake has a way to power it up.
how did
and
he
KO
knock it out?
Stataka. He used assembly.
Okay.
So I don't think Jake has a way to knock out the stack attacka in a turn due to the metal resistance and the buff it gives, taking 10 less to itself. So if Catron just hits energy or a B string, I'm pretty sure the game is just over.
I think at this point, Jake should just pick up his cards and go to round 2.
Oh, did he?
He needs a lot.
I guess Jake didn't cut. And Catron offers him like a very good opponent to allow him to cut.
Whiffs the Max Lexer? Yep.
It appears so. So Jake is put in a position where he can't KO anything this turn. It's a very bad position to be in against this deck, mainly because he's already at 4 prizes, so Michael's B strings are still active. However, Michael only does play 2, I believe.
Is he just passing?
He just
Yeah,
passed.
he's going to round 2.
So Michael won game 1. Why is Jake standing up?
Yeah.
Why are you standing up? It's best 2 out of 3. Wacky man. So Jake does get to choose who goes first. So hopefully he'll be able to get his Inkay out in time instead of just having one. So Catron is up a game on him. I won't say this matchup is unlosable, mainly because he does have the Mars Shadow, so he can hit exact numbers with 190 or with a Choice Band.
He just really needs to prioritize his setup on turn 1.
Yeah. Catron's... Let's see. Looks like
Starts an Inkay.
he starts an
See
Inkay.
if anything else.
Catron opens Oranguru. I didn't see anything amazing in either hand, honestly. But both hands are most likely playable, at least. Catron opening Oranguru, however,
he does
something...
get the Ultra Ball, so he will be able to Max Lexer into something onto the bench. He has a Sycamore too. He's
Interestingly
getting rid of the
enough, he
Ultra
isn't
Ball?
getting rid of the Psychic Energy.
Yeah, why is he getting rid of the Ultra Ball?
Catron
Oh, it's
opening...
for Lele. Doesn't he have a Sycamore in hand already?
Maybe. Maybe he's going to Bridget or something?
Okay.
Clearly checking for Bridget.
Yeah, that. I guess Bridget's alright, yeah. Go for
Ooh,
Bridget.
did he
Yeah,
prize it?
Prize the Bridget. He should have Mysterious Treasured and not gone for the Lele and just sifted through for the Bridget first, but decides to go and Wonder Tag anyways.
This is a non-sanctioned event, so Catron opening Ornguru is something he'd rather not see, especially
I mean,
because
you still got to get that money, dude.
very true. But Catron opening Ornguru, very unfortunate for him.
Attaching to the Lele and going to max. Is he going to try and attack with the Lele?
Interestingly enough, he's powering up the Lele. Maybe because he's trying to build a big up energy drive next turn or late game.
Energy drive.
Energy drive seems like an incorrect
Catron
play.
does have a Lele in his hand. His hand is not all that bad.
Catron's hand isn't awful. Of course, I don't see anything amazing in Jake's hand.
That hand could have been a lot better.
But he still has a supporter for turn, which is extremely good. Interestingly enough, he decides not to Mysterious Treasure away the energy card and instead gets rid of the Ultra Ball, limiting how many Pokemon he can get, because he did have the Cynthia in hand beforehand, I believe. That's still fine for him. So he's going to draw a fresh hand of 6. Catron just waiting for it to be his turn. He does hit some Pokemon. It's a Dawnwings and a Necrozma.
It's passing here.
Interestingly enough, he did attach the energy to the Lele before supportering, which may have been a misplay.
Yeah.
But he still should be fine. Catron
should have done a full deck search.
Gets Cynthia instead of a Lily, so
he must have a lot of cards he can't play in his hand.
Maybe a bunch of supporters. We know that he has, I believe he has 2 Leles in his hand.
Yeah, he has 2.
Just plays the Cynthia, so he doesn't have a stone for his Ornguru in that hand. Hopefully, I believe what Catron's hoping to see is obviously some metals, maybe some max elixirs, hopefully a float stone for him. He definitely wants a hand where he can whittle it down to less than 3 so he can definitely instruct and draw some more.
He's going to attach and pass.
Attaches a metal and passes. With the parallel top deck.
Down.
Oh, he has a
doesn't really matter,
psychic.
he threw it out, but he's going to be using that anyways.
He's going to attach it. Sycamore's away and Psychic Energy and Guzma. So he only has 1 Psychic Energy in his discard.
At most, if he doesn't have an Elixir here, he's only going to be using Energy Drive. Because once again, he decided not to go for a second Inkay off his turn 1.
Well, no. If he hits a Max Elixir, a Stone, and a Malamar, but it doesn't look like he hit any of those. Or he hit a Malamar.
He has a Malamar.
Doesn't appear like he hit a Stone, though.
He did hit the Stone.
He did?
Yes. There it is, yep. He has nothing else, though. He should just be passing here, yeah. Either passing or you're going for that 40 damage energy drive.
Potentially. Looks like he doesn't have... Oh, he's attaching a Choice Band.
No.
Okay. He does have the Stone for his Lunala. He's just going to Invasion Pass.
It's a good play by him.
So, Catron with the Ultra Ball top deck. Opting not to play it, most likely because he may not have anything amazing right now. So what is he going to choose to discard?
Yeah.
Choosing to get rid of 2 metals.
He's probably going for,
maybe a Duskmane.
Either a Duskmane.
It looks like he's about to grab.
Or Stack Attack. He needs to start setting up.
He can. Looks like he gets a Solgaleo.
Oh yeah, because he has a whole lot of energies in his discard.
So
he
he
can find a float stone. He can start setting up.
Yeah, and he does have 4 in play, so he can set up a Stack Attack or
He didn't do anything last turn. He probably has a supporter here. I think I see a Lily in his hand.
Potentially. It's definitely something. He's instructing for 1.
He's going to instruct for 1.
He hits the Ultra Ball.
He's probably
so
just making
probably
a decision
going
if
to
he wants
play.
to Lily first. Yep. He's going to go for 4.
Right, so he Lilies for
Max
4. Looks like he hit another Pokemon as well.
He's probably going to be searching out for a... after this, he's probably going to be searching out for a Duskmane.
Most likely. Most likely he'll attach all 4 to his Duskmane or something similar to that.
Yeah.
Although we may be afraid of...
he Ultra Balls away
with Stack Attacker.
No, that's a Duskmane, right?
Well, that's a Stack Attacker.
The Ultra Ball away the Stack Attacker?
Yes.
Okay.
That's an interesting play by Catron. He most
like
likely thinks he doesn't need it or he just doesn't want it.
Yeah, he's going to be using Radiant
He only
Star.
has 2 in discard, so he's only able to attach 2. That's still very strong, especially if he has energy in hand or if he's able to do something next turn.
Also, 160 HP, 1 prizer in the actives.
Oh, he Ultra Balled away the stack attacker because there's a parallel in play.
Okay.
Monkey.
I mean, it looked like a Duskman.
Choosing the Cynthia here. He can attack with full burst
He
or
can
prismatic
knock out
burst.
this Solgaleo, but he'd be threatened by a Sun's Eclipse next turn.
Yes, he would be. He may just choose to energy drive as he's been powering up the
set up a third
Lele.
Inkay here.
He can. I think that's
Maybe be able to counter punch.
Choose to bench the Marshadow instead.
Marshadow. Okay.
I don't think Jake has any energy in his discard right now, though, and it doesn't look like he has one in hand.
Yeah.
So I think Jake might just be forced to energy drive here and have Catron get another turn to just set up all his attackers.
Or he could retreat. He could retreat into the Lele and then retreat. Yeah, he could retreat and then invasion back and then put an energy from the retreat onto the Necrozma.
He could do that.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be able to attack this turn.
He would be able to attack next turn and most likely be able to knock out the Duskman.
Looks like he's just going to retreat and pass into the Inkay.
It's kind of weird, though.
Opting not to give Catron a prize. Catron does play an Ultra Ball and fails it.
Claw Slash.
It does play into Claw Slash. Maybe he's trying to Moon's Eclipse or something like that.
Guess.
So now there is a Struct for 3 coming into play. I don't know if Catron hit anything of interest. Seems like he hit a metal.
He's just gonna pass.
He's just gonna pass turn. Should have used Radiant Star.
Shut up. He does have the energy. He will be able to take the knockout on this Duskman since he does have the choice band. If he does have a Guzma in his hand, but he decided to bench the Marshadow last turn.
I think he's
just passing here.
Oh, Catron with the top deck. Catron does, however, need a stone and a metal here. Or actually, no, he just needs a stone.
He needs a stone, yeah.
If he hits Field Blower and a Pokemon, along with maybe an energy, he'd most likely be in a very strong position to just take prizes.
Being able to Claw Slash here alone is a great play for him.
It does open the door for Dawn Wings, however.
That's fine, because he would still need to find the Max Lexer, which he does have in his hand.
Yes, but he doesn't have any energy in discard, however.
He does have an energy in his hand. And he would be able to retreat with the Lele next turn. He could active the Lele and retreat with it.
It seems like Catron may be powering up.
He's just going to pass.
His Solgaleo.
Okay.
Potentially trying to
bait out.
Full Metal Burst, or just
trying to threaten a second attack. Mullins.
Jake's
Ultra Ball away 2 energies.
Both his energy. So, depends on what his hand is. It didn't look like he had a Guzma when we first looked at it, so I don't think he's going to be able to get the Necrozma out, but he will be able to take a knockout on the Solgaleo this turn. Provided he does have... chooses to evolve the Malamar.
He will be able to invasion retreat, and he can take a knockout on this Solgaleo, but it's probably not optimal right now.
This has been a very slow game, despite Jake being able to be set up with 2 Malamars.
I feel like if he did not bench the Marshadow, this game would be going much quicker.
I agree. Catron's hand, I don't know what's in it. We do know he's attached passing, so maybe he's trying to power up an attack.
I know he does have an energy in his hand, so he might be trying to bait out the knockout on the Solgaleo, so he can go for a Sun's Eclipse.
Potentially trying to also...
He's just going to attach onto the Dawn Wings, maybe preparing for getting knocked out here, but he's just going to go for a 100. Okay.
So he chooses to attack. Does choose to attack for resistance. Oh, Catron Pal Pads here.
Pal padding in back in what? In the Lily or the Guzma? It's the Guzma,
Looks
right?
like he's getting both Guzmas.
I didn't know he
Very
had
strong play.
I didn't know he had 2 Guzmas in his discard.
Most likely trying to Guzma the Necrozma or something. Unlike Dark Flash, Moon's Eclipse is affected by resistance. Yeah. He does have a Sycamore in hand, which is a very strong play for him. Most likely why he didn't play anything last turn.
Parallel's kind of just screwing him up. Yeah, he's gonna max potion.
Gonna max potion. Doesn't look like he has
It's passing here.
floatstone again, but Jake's hand is unable to deal with this large Solgaleo, and if he isn't able to deal with it before Catron gets a Guzma, he is just going to lose to it.
He's just not getting the Guzmas that he needs. Oh, I think he does have a Guzma. Oh, that's
a max elixir.
It's a max elixir.
Looks like he's trying to set up just all his attackers, so once they enter into prize war, it appears like Catron... It looks like he's trying to set up all of his attackers so that when Catron finally takes a knockout, he'll be able to retaliate full force. Catron top decking the stone.
He is slowly whittling down this Solgaleo.
And he does have another max potion in hand.
But this is going to be a turn where Michael Catron is actually going to be able to get off an attack for once.
So it looks like he is going to N away his large hand. Jake, interestingly enough, not opting to play a supporter that turn, maybe because he wants to thin his deck.
Not opting to attack. Ever.
He attacked.
He's just going for 120.
He did max potion.
He's not taking any kills.
He most likely isn't trying to activate...
He's not trying to activate the Sun's Eclipse. His whole entire board's a mess.
He wants to cut his deck first.
Yeah.
So I will admit that Jake's board state is not very clean.
Yeah. Lele is on
Does
top
look
of his
like
Malamar.
that Solgaleo is finally going to come out and knock out Jake's... Well, not his only threat, but still a very big threat.
One. I mean, he does have the, what?
The Necrozma ready to KO.
Coming in for a knockout. If Catron does have a B-string here,
yes,
and a way to get his Duskmane set up, then he's going to be very ahead.
He's attaching a fourth interesting energy instead of attaching the Mars Shadow. Maybe he forgot that he had Choice Band.
Yeah. He already had the knockout with the Choice Band, but he just decided to bring up the Necrozma.
So now the Necrozma will attack, discarding all his energy. He does have a Mars Shadow on bench, however.
Decides to overextend for 200 something.
So...
Okay,
does have Solgaleo B-string. Carter lost in 4.
Carter lost in top 8.
Or yeah, he lost in 8.
Yeah.
Christian, Tim, Catron, and Jake are all 4. Christian's match finished. He won. That's why he's here commenting with me.
Hello.
But yeah. So Solgaleo's ready to Sun's Eclipse. Catron has another way to get an energy onto it. Jake might be out of it. Although he can Prismatic Burst next turn with the Mars Shadow if it goes into discard.
If Max Elixir hits, he's going to be able to say he's going to take a knockout here.
He will be able to take a knockout with Meteor Tempest. However, Jake may be able to attack with the Mars Shadow.
If he does take a knockout here...
However, he doesn't have really anything to retreat. He does choose, interestingly enough...
Actually, no, he still has the Solgaleo in play, so Catron's in a very good position.
Yes, but he doesn't really have any energy input. That's a big problem.
He does have a lot in discard pile, so the Solgaleo is going to be a threat if he does have a way to switch out.
That is true.
He does have a Guzma in his hand. He's setting up on the Mars Shadow. The Duskmane is most likely going to die this turn.
Yes, the Mars Shadow is very loaded. He
doesn't
doesn't have any Inkays though, so he is behind on prizes.
He goes for the Cynthia, yeah.
So he chooses to Cynthia here. I don't know how many cards are left in his deck.
I think he could have just held his hand.
Honest, yeah, he could have.
He could have a Guzman and energy in his hand.
It appears like Mars Shadow will not be able to attack after this turn, and he won't have any energy on board after this because he already used both his Psychic Recharges.
And that parallel has been down the entire
He will bench an Inkay, however.
Floatstone, he's going to be able to take a knockout here.
Yeah.
Go on even prizes, deactivate the B-strings.
Yes, that is a very troublesome position, but he does have an energy on Solgaleo, so if he does have another attacker...
This is all down to if Jake can find the Guzma. If he does have the Guzma in the hand, this game is
Here's like
over.
he has a Celesteela GX that he's able to attack with. However, his B-strings are deactivated, so he isn't going to be able to
He's most
attack.
likely just going to be going for a Radiant Star here, trying to set anything up he can.
However, I don't think Jake will have the ability to attack with the Mars Shadow in a turn.
The GX attack on Celesteela will most likely be able to take anything out.
Yes, it will hit 180, so he'll be able to KO any GX as long as Catron has Guzma. He most likely has it in deck because we do know that he pal padded in 2.
If Jake has Guzma here, the game's over.
Doesn't look like he has it in hand. He does have an
Malamar.
N,
He does.
however.
I do believe he has a rescue stretcher if he does have a Lele in his discard, but I don't think he does. He's
He
gonna rescue stretcher.
may.
And he's going to go for the Dawn
He does have a Dawn Wings.
He's gonna go for the Dawn Wings.
He will not be able to Moon's Eclipse, however, because he is on even prizes. He can Dark Flash, however. Chooses a triple Psycho recharge to his Dawn Wings. And Catron.
Yep.
Hoping that Catron does not hit that Guzma, because if he does, it will be game. Interestingly enough, Celesteela is potentially a worse attacker just because it doesn't have that psychic resistance. Does choose to Invasion and Dark Flash.
It's all down to if he has the Guzma in his hand. Does he?
Oh, yeah.
He does.
He has a Float Stone.
He has the Float Stone, and
He
he's
just
gonna take
attacks
the
with
knockout here.
the
Okay.
Dawn Wings.
So 2-0 by Michael Catron.
So Michael
Yeah.
Catron will advance into finals. It will be Christian Franco versus Michael.